Hello and welcome into Talking Bengals, the world's most keeping it real podcast. And typically it's when keeping it real goes wrong. That's what we thrive in. But anyways, that's Chappelle reference. If you don't get it, watch more Chappelle Show. If you don't know what Chappelle Show is, you're probably too young to be listening to this podcast. But anyways, I digress. Got a full house tonight. Boys, how we doing?
Who Day, baby.
Who dey?
We did get a preseason win. That's nice. It doesn't happen very often. It also doesn't matter at all. It really doesn't. And I don't think it did much to make any of us feel any better about what happened last night. So we're going to start off with cheers and jeers. Burnsy, take it away.
Oh, I get the first one? Well, I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit of Mitchell Tinsley and how impressive he looked against his former team, the Commanders. Both of those touchdown grabs were just phenomenal. So that's my cheer. We want to wait on the jeers?
No, go ahead. Drop your jeer on us.
I got another low-hanging fruit, but that run defense for our starters, it just looks abysmal.
Hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second. Did we have a rushing defense even out there?
Well, my point exactly. It wasn't fun. My gosh. It looked like we threw Boone County's defense out there against their secondary, or their second string, rather.
Yeah, it was so bad. Nick, what do you got?
I would say cheers. Fairchild is him. Dylan Fairchild is him. It's the reason why we drafted him. I think he has comfortably filled that spot, and I don't think he should be playing next week or this upcoming preseason game. I think that save him. Save the Browns. Save Mims. Don't play Burrow, obviously. Both of our wide receiver ones need to sit out. Tanner Hudson looked really good, but I'm going to say our jeer. And I didn't think I would say this, and I'm not going to say the low-hanging fruit of the lack of defense, but my jeer is Joe Burrow not just getting rid of the ball, trying to extend a play in the preseason when it doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, dumb. Just dumb. Josh?
My cheer is going to be not really even from the game. Hopefully, there's offensive line help coming. They've got someone in town right now. Hopefully, he's going to make a difference because left guard, nope. They do not have that position filled. If we didn't see during the big sack loss play Burrow took, that's also my jeer. What was the offensive line doing? They went into a huddle, it looked like. They were standing there just watching him run, getting chased by all these guys.
Yeah.
He was under duress way too much. And it seemed like there was no blocking for him at all. Brown looked like he was lost. I don't know what he was doing. He was getting beat way too much. That offensive line is still a problem. You got to shore up that left guard, and they do not have it yet.
Hey, but I like Lucas Patrick's little like ooh when the guys running when Burrow's running by and people are running by him. Like I don't know what that was. It was really bad. I do want to go ahead and just give my cheer goes to Jake Browning. He's still a great backup quarterback. He looked fantastic. So people saying he looked bad and knows last week he didn't do anything. Well, he looked really good this week. So that works. He's a backup for a reason. I think people forget that. Backup quarterbacks are not going to be elite. And he's as good as they can come for a backup quarterback, in my opinion. My jeer, it even hurts to just say this because we need this guy so bad to do well this year. Jordan Battle. You could have laid Jaden Daniels out. Literally laid him out. And instead you're playing like touch football with him. They weren't playing touch football with Joe Burrow. They were trying to take his head off. The fact that you had a free shot on a starting NFL quarterback and you just did whatever the heck that was and let him walk into the end zone And then you also had a bad tackle on the long run play by Deebo Samuels. You didn't do anything worth talking about. But honorable mention, I know Zach talked about the rushing defense. I want to just go ahead and say something, and Nick is going to yell at me for this because it's about his man crush. How in the heck does a tight end block a defensive lineman and a linebacker at one time? That is a pathetic effort by Logan Wilson. I have
I,
no idea how that happened.
I'll go ahead and say it. Logan Wilson kind of looked lost last night. He did not look like himself. I don't know if he's dealing with like sinus infection or allergies that's going on in the Ohio Valley. I don't know what's going on, but he needs to go get a steroid shot and get that taken care of because real football is coming around the corner and he needs to get his head out of his butt.
And I'm going to go ahead and just cost us one of our, things for tonight. The entire defense needs to get rid of their case of bitch assness. I can't stand it anymore. They looked pathetic. Stopping a run is not a hard thing to do. You fill your gaps, you pursue the right direction, you don't let two guys who are both bigger than the tight end get blocked by the one tight end. And then you don't have this happen. But for 2 straight weeks, just been gashed. I mean, that's going to take us into the biggest concern. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put you guys on the spot with biggest concerns that I think they are and let y'all elaborate on them. So we're going to start right there with the run defense. And Nick, I'm going to let you take that.
I'm going to say the run defense looked absolutely atrocious. And I don't think I'm saying anything that everybody else isn't already thinking. I think the major concerns is going to be essentially, can we even stop a running back?
Yeah.
I mean, not from what I've saw. I mean, I'll use my same old, looked like a chain link fence trying to stop a flood. I mean, that was miserable. I mean, literally, like you might as well just not even had anything there to try to stop the flood. Just let it go. Just let it run by and let it wear itself out. I mean, that's essentially what the defense looked like. Jordan Battle I'll stop at the line.
I mean, how are they going to fix it? Do you have any ideas on that?
Get Trey signed, get it over with. You guys already have everything already figured out. Just give him his guaranteed money and get it over with. Get him signed so we can stop worrying about all that crap. And I don't know, somehow pick up somebody in free agency that knows how to tackle.
Yeah.
Or maybe another 11 or another 10 guys.
No, I agree. I mean, the other low-hanging fruit on defense, Josh, I'm going to let you take it. How do you fix the safety position? What are your biggest concerns with the safety position?
I mean, it seems kind of simple. Teach him how to freaking tackle. I don't get it. How do you, as you already kind of elaborated on, how do you not lay out a quarterback that's running straight at you and you know he's not going down?
Yep.
You gave him a freaking hug. You got to go out there and be physical. You're not playing fast. You're not playing confident. You're not playing hard. You're playing like you have no clue how to play football. I mean, it's the confidence. Maybe it's coaching. Maybe they're just really not even trying that hard because it's preseason. They're trying not to get hurt. I don't know what they're doing, but they look terrible. They look like they have no business being starting safeties in the NFL. So, I mean, I would start off with coaching.
I have a theory, and I want to let you guys finish before I throw my theory out.
I think Josh nailed it right there, so I'm not going to elaborate too much. I'm curious about this theory because this whole conversation thus far, biggest concerns, I got a question now for later, but we'll save that one for later. Nick, what's your theory?
My theory is that the Bengals are showing a soft defense that sucks to get everybody in the league to be like, they're terrible. We can just run all over them. And then next thing you know, they come out and just destroy people during the season. That's my theory.
This would be the greatest deception since the Trojan horse. I mean, if that's really what they're doing, color me impressed. Al Golden is going to be an Oscar winner. I mean, it's going to happen because right now this is the worst. This defense is worse than last year. Like getting gashed for 40-yard runs in back-to-back games. The first group that the Commanders had out there, 17 yards a carry. Averaging 17 yards per carry. That is like college powder puff game numbers. And, I'm not going to give away a fun thing coming up later, but for you college football fans, we got some guys who can analyze some stuff, so be ready. But, Zach, the area I'm going to give you is the offensive line. What are they going to do about it?
Well, it's like we've already talked about at this point. He's already taking some serious critical sacks. Like Josh elaborated earlier, I'm going to butcher his name because I've never heard it said out loud. I just read it. So I'm just going to call him Risen, is in town. Apparently everything is quiet right now. Maybe he solves the issue on the left guard. But you've got to be more disciplined on your tackle side and your pass protection, because there is no reason why an MVP caliber and Super Bowl winning caliber quarterback is taking the hits Joe Burrow is taking. So I think you bring in another veteran guy to continue to challenge. Maybe Risen is the answer. I don't know. What? Book's still out on that one.
I mean, he's an average guard, but he's been sitting out here all offseason. He was out there last offseason, the offseason before for a long time. So I'm not sure, but I mean, I think from where last week we thought the offense was great, they looked great, everything was great. This week they look like there's a lot of concerns. With a caveat, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins didn't play a whole lot. They were only in there for, I think, the very first possession. Then after that, they started mixing in, some other guys, and that's what Burrow wanted. And I thought those guys played well overall. But, yeah, you've got to make better plays. And what's his face? Brooks. He did not look great. He looked very okay at best. So that was a little bit concerning because I thought he was going to have a breakout game. Getting to play with the ones, get out there, get some, action, dropped a pass, didn't look very good. The runs, he had one good one, otherwise bad. I'm just very concerned. So what I would say overall for biggest concern is maybe this team is not as good as we all hoped they were going to be, which is going to bring us into our next segment, which is going to be talking about what is the ceiling for this team. We're not talking win total. We're not talking, anything like that yet, but really most of the starters aren't going to play next week. And I'll start off this one since I didn't do much on the last segment. I'm very concerned. I think that they are a wild card team at best right now. Because if that defense plays the way they do, Joe Burrow is going to have to track meet everybody. And I'm hoping Nick is right. Usually I don't think Nick's theories are right, but I'm really hoping this one is 100% spot on.
Oh, I'm not right at all, but
we can hope. Hope is not a strategy, but we can hope. Because if that is how bad the defense is, we may not beat the Browns because the Browns are a good rushing team. Even with ancient Joe Flacco out there, he doesn't even have to throw the ball. Just hand the ball off, and we're going to get crushed. And if Myles Garrett, Burrow doesn't play well against Myles Garrett. Let's just go ahead and put that out there. He struggles against the Browns. Yes, he beat them last year, but he struggled historically against the Browns. So I don't know. I don't feel great about that. Nick, what do you think?
I think, are we doing the ceiling, or are we still on the biggest concerns?
No, we're doing realistic. What do you think, based on the data you have right now? What do you think the ceiling for the season is?
I think we wind up like we did last year, chasing a potential wild card spot and falling short because our defense can't cut it. And I don't know necessarily that it's Al Golden's fault. Duke Tobin really didn't step up and bring in anybody for really anything on the defensive side. We're just kind of relying on old talent that we thought we had but didn't. I mean, Cam Taylor-Britt, God only knows if he'll be healthy and if he's actually going to do anything. Jordan Battle looks like he's lost playing safety. And then you have Logan Wilson, who's had his head up his butt the whole preseason, hasn't really done anything. So, I mean, plus our defensive line, God forbid they get to a quarterback. I'm just saying, we don't have a 1-2 punch on defensive end for a rusher. We don't have lockdown corners. We don't have a safety that can put any big hits on anybody coming across the middle. I mean, those are the big three. You need a rusher. You need Well, you need a 1-2 punch on the edge. You need lockdown corners, and you need a safety willing to put the hurt on somebody.
Yep.
We have none of them. We put Trey Hendrickson in the mix. We have one edge rusher. And maybe Joseph Osai or Miles Murphy will step up and actually do something with the other teams having to worry about Trey Hendrickson. But we can't put all of our eggs in the Trey Hendrickson basket and think that he's just going to make the defense magically better.
Well, I mean, I do want to say one thing we forgot to mention earlier, and we probably should have, and I'm going to kick it to Zach for his thoughts. I thought Joseph Osai quietly had a really good game.
Yeah.
He acted on that long run by Samuels. He set the edge, and Samuels cut back on him, and he didn't give up on the play. He chased him down.
And made the tackle.
Made the tackle, yeah. So, I mean, and then he stepped up on a couple other plays and made good plays. So he had a quiet, good game when everybody else having a bad game. Zach?
Yeah, I think it's going to be another 9-8, 10-7 season. You talk ceiling. I think 11-6 would be essentially the ceiling. I don't think it gets any better than that. A couple other things that kind of impressed me last night that we haven't talked about was Carter and Anderson, the two rookies at linebacker, really just kind of stepped up and made some good plays in the second half. Now, granted, I get it. It was Sam Hartman and not Jaden Daniels. But, I mean, they did their thing. And sometimes we have to play with the best players available. And if they continue to impress, I think they earn some more starting time. But other than that, defense has to grow up as well. That was my other note on this.
Josh, you got anything you want to add as far as what you think the ceiling is for this season?
I think it's higher than what you guys think. We haven't seen B.J. Hill yet. He's probably the best run defender we have on the team. I mean, when he took over last year, the run defense went a little bit up. He can clog the middle pretty well. We haven't seen Cam Taylor-Britt or Dax Hill either. And I think those two will help tremendously in the back end. They're going to up the just straight talent level. They're going to hopefully play a little bit faster. And, I mean, I think we all forget last year Dax Hill played really good until he got hurt.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we haven't seen the best of the defense, I don't think. And I do think they're going to get Trey Hendrickson signed. He's not going to help in run defense. We all know he is not good at run defense at all. He is straight, get to the quarterback, disrupt the timing of the QB, and that's all he does. But that's also going to open up a lot of other things for this team. So I think the defense, one, it can only get better, but I think it will, and that's definitely going to – it's going to help because we know the offense is going to be good. It's going to be one of the best offenses in the league. Defense will come around once everybody comes out and actually starts playing for real, and I kind of agree with Nick. I think they're playing pretty vanilla. They're going soft. They're trying to make sure the guys that they need to be ready for the season are going to be ready. It's a preseason. You're just trying to get used to hitting people, trying to get used to playing actual football. You're not trying to go out there and do anything exotic. You're not trying to do anything that's going to risk getting your starters hurt. So I'm really hoping that this year, I think they're going to be better.
Nope. I mean, the topic I was thinking of, we talk about how bad the defense is. If the defense continues to play this bad, what week do we think Al Golden's getting fired? Because Zach Taylor is up against it right now. If this defense is bad again, I don't think he has a job next season as the Bengals head coach. Because, he brought in his guy. And this is way too early. It's preseason speculation. But if the defense does not improve, what week does Al Golden get fired? Josh, what do you think?
I don't think he's gone this season. I mean, he kind of was left depleted. I mean, we saw how it started with Lou Anarumo. His first year or two, terrible. Well, first year was really bad. The team was awful. They didn't have anyone good. This year, I think, is going to be a mulligan. Next year, we're going to see if he's actually going to do anything.
I don't think you have that kind of time. You don't have one. Burrow is in his contract. Chase and Higgins are. You're losing prime years. I don't think you got time for a mulligan. Zach, what do you think?
Actually, I kind of agree with Josh. I don't think that the chopping block will be Al Golden. I think it's going to remain on Zach Taylor. Now, the Browns are not typically the ones to cut ties in the middle of the season on a head coach. So it'll be an interesting landscape. So for Al Golden, I think he's got his job secured at least for the season. If it doesn't improve, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're week 10 and this team hasn't gotten better, that Zach Taylor isn't the head coach.
Nick, what do you think?
I agree with Zach with his statement that I don't think it's Al Golden that's going to be on the chopping block. I also agree with Zach that we typically don't cut ties with coaches in the middle of the year. What I agree with Casey on, and this is random, this never happens, okay? Casey and I, we hardly ever agree, is the fact that Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, they're in contract. They're in their big-time contracts. These are big-time years. These are big-time earning years for the team that they need to produce. They need to bring in, fans, revenue, everything else because of how much they're forking out for these guys. And I think that Al Golden will definitely be on the chopping block come week 8, week 9, if he's not had a defense put together that can somehow be a C- at least. And if he's not on the chopping block, he should be.
I think that's week 8 was what I was going to say.
Week 8, week 9 at the latest.
Because in these kind of situations, what typically ends up happening is if they're playing bad enough, Zach Taylor's now in desperation. Kind of if you remember Marvin Lewis was with Terrell Austin. I brought this guy in. I vouched for this guy. This is the guy I wanted. It's not working out. My job is on the line.
Yeah.
So we got to try something else. And if that's – we're going to blame everything on the DC again. We got rid of Lou. We're also going to get rid of Al. Hey, if that happens, that happens because you're in desperation mode. That would be looking like – and it hurts to even think about. We're like 2-6 at week 8, or 3-5, something to where we're just playing really bad somehow, and the defense is just so bad that they've lost us games like they did last season. I mean, week 1, the defense didn't lose us the game. Week 2, I don't even want to get into it. Yeah, terrible call and bad defense. And then week 3, the defense lost us the game. So, the defense lost 2 out of the first 3 games, you could say. So, yeah, if you're 3-5, 2-6 at week 8, something's got to be done. And Zach Taylor's in desperation mode at that point because if he can't get it somehow turned around to be a 500 team, he's gone for sure.
I mean, slow start's not going to be acceptable in Cincinnati anymore. Yeah. Not with Zach Taylor at the helm, especially with him saying and outwardly saying to everybody that this year is going to be different. This isn't going to be another slow start. Well, your defense needs to pick it up because we can't be scoring 30, 35 points in a game and losing that game. If you can't hold a team to under 28 points and we lose because your defense is that bad, I'm sorry, but essentially at some point you got to cut off the head of the snake.
Yep. You gotta figure out what's going on. You can't keep wasting prime Joe Burrow, prime Jamar Chase, prime T. Higgins. You got to make something happen. We got to make a run. Yeah. And that's what scares you. This should be the time that we are making a run for the Super Bowl. And right now, I don't think any of us honestly see that happening. Just because at some point, no matter how great Joe Burrow plays, even if the offense is fantastic, lights out, does everything they can do, you're going to run up against a team that's a good balance between good offense, good defense, and your defense is going to choke. It's just very concerning.
I mean, offense can only get you so far. And these are the years that we should be vying for the Super Bowl every single year with Joe Burrow at the helm. And if we're not, I hope that we are all dead wrong. I hope our defense comes out, and my theory is right, that they were just playing softies and they wanted everybody to think that we sucked. But I don't think that's the case. But if it is, if that's the case, Thank God, because my hopes will go through the freaking roof, and we will be a Super Bowl contender if that's the case. Unfortunately, I don't believe it is.
I mean, I think
So
we
I'm
beat
looking
them.
at the schedule.
Go ahead, Zach.
High end going through week 9, you're looking at potentially being 5-4 because you got the Browns. That should be a win. The Jaguars should be a win. The Vikings could go the other way. So the Vikings win that one. That's 2-1. Broncos potentially a loss on Monday Night Football early in the season. That's 2-2. The Lions could potentially put them at 2-3. Packers 3-3. Steelers at home on Thursday Night Football. Again, like that could be a loss. I hate saying that because it makes me want to throw up in my mouth. But then the Jets bring us back to 500 there, and then the Bears right after that. So 5-4, week 9.
Yeah, which is not good enough. It's not. It's not good enough for where this team should
No.
be. And the guy that's ultimately to blame, but will never lose his job, is Duke Tobin. If this was any other organization, Duke Tobin would be fired after this season if we don't have a good season. Because you didn't, you brought in T and Jamar. You should have done that last year when they were cheaper. And you could have made yourself more money.
Much cheaper.
Much cheaper. And then you brought in nobody on defense. And we're going to trust our young guys. And no offense to Demetrius Knight, he's got to figure out how to play football. He looked terrible last night. He did not look like a guy. So not only did we draft an old guy, he's not even NFL ready. That's what the whole. He's NFL ready. He's mature. He knows what he's doing. He didn't look like it last night. He was out of position. He got blocked up in a lot of places and didn't make any kind of impact on the game. So we're very negative. I almost want to go back to when the starters didn't play in the preseason, so that way we didn't have to be this negative in August. We could be like, it's backups. Who cares?
All right, so I have a segment to add to tonight. Positively, what do you think is going very positive for the Bengals right now?
McPherson, he hasn't missed. I mean, he's kicking good right now. I mean, I'm starting to regain my confidence.
When a perfect game is happening, Josh.
Yeah, you don't talk about it, but I think the wide receiver core is good to talk about. We got our solid 1 through 6. So,
I think we got a solid 1 through 8.
I was going to say 1 through 8, maybe.
It's only going to be 6 to make the team. And I mean, that was something that I heard on a different program that if you want to partake in other programs, feel free. But maybe they'll trade Mitch Tinsley now. Maybe he has some, tradable capital.
I'm not the same thing.
Yeah, get a decent defensive lineman. Get a real safety. Because I like the kid. I think he's a good player. But on this team, he's what? At best, your 6th?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's going to really be that much of an impact. And if we get to him being an impact, man, this has been a bad season. Because that means we've lost several people who are ahead of him on the depth chart. I mean, if he comes in and plays great. But if you could get a real defensive lineman or a real safety or a real corner, yeah, I'd trade him in a heartbeat.
Zach, what's your positive?
I would say Joe Burrow's passing game.
Yeah.
Only because he went 9-10 last week. He was 9 of 14 last night. So I mean, he's just continuously being consistent and playing in midseason form, and we haven't even started playing real games yet.
Yeah, I mean, he dotted that pass in the back of the end zone. Chucky J. My man. I tell you what, Charlie Jones has really showed up this preseason.
Yeah.
I think that's a very big positive for the year. Very big positive. Casey, what's next?
I mean, we got time for a couple off-season topics, then we're probably going to be closing it out here. Who's got one?
I'll go.
All right.
So you got to pick 2 One of them is any TV show that you would want to be in, and the other one is any TV show you would not want to be in.
I
We
feel like
did
we
that
just
last
did
week.
this last week.
Right? I don't
Yeah.
think I did that.
Yeah.
But I don't have one. I asked someone else that too.
Such a good topic that he wants to do it back-to-back weeks. I
I
like
don't
it.
think you guys did good enough.
That is a good one. Okay. So I got one for you, and this is keep it light and easy. You have to spend an afternoon doing something. Rank in order which ones you'd prefer to do. Golfing, fishing, pickleball. Go.
Fishing, golfing, pickleball. Top to bottom. 1, 2, 3.
Josh?
This is the hardest one yet. Let's see. I would have to go pickleball, fishing, golf.
Zach?
Golf, fishing, pickleball.
I'm going to have to go fishing, pickleball, golf. Because golf, the reason I have to justify that is depends on who you golf with. It depends on where you play. I hate going places and they make you like, oh, there's 2 other dudes who want to play. You got to play with these 2 random dudes for the next 2.5, 3 hours.
That's
And
why you
whatever.
go with 4 people.
But what if you don't have 4 people? And then you're going to get stuck with Mr.
You
Chuck
just go
Throat
with
Foot.
us.
Yeah. Okay. That was not the parameters of the question. Also, pickleball, I would dominate all of you. So there we go.
Yeah, I mean, you can always dream, Casey. You can always dream.
Josh, we never get to play 1v1.
No, we haven't.
1v1 me, bro. 1v1 me.
When's the last time the two, Zach and Nick, have played pickleball? That's the question.
I played pickleball at work.
I'm sorry, it's not 2007. So, no, I don't play pickleball anymore.
Oh, so some of us have been playing all summer and we'll crush you. There we go. Anybody else have an off-season topic?
No.
Going once? Twice?
All right, you have to pick an order from top to bottom.
We like lists today.
I was going to do the Mary one, but that's
No,
not.
we did not do that.
Um, you have to pick in order, favorite to least favorite, or most likely to least likely places you would visit again. Okay, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida. Go.
So the one at the top is the one we'd most likely visit again?
Most likely to least likely.
Okay. So I want to put the caveat that we live extremely close to Ohio. So we go there somewhat frequently, but we're going to say outside of the, 5th Street and down. So you go beyond 5th Street. So because the stadiums to me are basically in Kentucky. They're right there.
Yeah.
So we'll say anything north of 5th Street. Okay. So Josh, what are you doing?
I mean, always going to be Ohio, and then Florida, Pennsylvania.
I think it's obvious that Florida is the place you want to visit again the most. I mean, honestly, I have zero desire to go back to any other part of Ohio or anywhere in Pennsylvania. So I mean, I put you have a 1 and then you have 2 really bad 3s.
I concur.
So other than going to like the Reds or the Bengals stadium, the only reason I'd be likely to go to Ohio is Bass Pro Shop is closer that way.
True.
If I had to choose, most likely to actually voluntarily visit and enjoy the time outside of going to Bass Pro, Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Pennsylvania because Cooperstown.
Cooperstown's not in Pennsylvania. It's in New York.
Okay. Well, I'd have to go through Pennsylvania to get to New York. So
Not necessarily. There's plenty of ways.
I've gone. It's the only way I know. It's the only way I know. Leave me
Most of
alone.
us will take this thing called a plane, but we know you're afraid of them.
Yes, definitely afraid
Nick's a
of
great lieutenant of this show.
Oh,
And for our military listeners, you get that reference.
yeah. Having been to Cooperstown twice, I'm pretty sure I never had to go to Pennsylvania to get there. But I also lived in New York, so that's why I didn't go to Pennsylvania. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Picking up what you're putting down. And that would bring us to the conclusion.
Plus, I'd like to visit Philadelphia. Just the history.
I'd love to go for the history, not go for the rundown, really ghetto people. Yes, I called out Philadelphia, and they would say you're effing right. That's what they would say to me if they heard me.
Yeah.
None of them are offended at all. They would literally just be like, "That's right. You put some respect on Philly." Like, okay, bro, whatever. Anyways, now that we have offended an entire fan base and city, we're gonna call tonight. At me, Philly. Go ahead, at me. I don't care. Bryce Harper sucks.
Hey, you don't say that.
Hey, I actually like Bryce Harper.
I know. Just the first person from the Phillies that popped into my head was Bryce Harper. Who else do they have? JT Realmuto. I don't know.
Castellanos still there?
He is, and if Casey would have said Castellanos, I would have probably came to his house tonight and did bad
I still
things.
like Nick Castellanos.
Don't worry, you show up 3 days late. It's okay.
I'd have plenty of time to
The element of surprise, Nick.
No, because I had to text me like, I got lost. How do I get there? Anyways, thank you all for sticking this out. I know this is painful at the end of some of these episodes because we just have a good time. And if you don't like having a good time, you don't understand why we're called the Keeping It Realist podcast out there. So that's us. We keep it real. Sometimes it goes wrong. Again, Chappelle Show. If you haven't seen it, watch it. That is my closing thoughts. Watch more Chappelle Show. Josh, what do you got?
I got nothing. Just ready to get to the season.
I like it. Short, sweet, to the point. Nicholas?
I hope I'm right about my theory.
Yeah, I like it. Burnsy, take us away. Close us out.
Well, my closing thought is I hope Nick is right as well, because as Casey said, the Trojan horse would be epic. That also being said, Nick and I are going to do a side quest here and go adventure into the college football realm. So if you join us now and you're still awake and you want to come join us on the other show, by all means, go follow us on Talking CFP, college football. Okay? If you don't already follow this page, though, on any of your other social media platforms, we are at Talkin_Bengals. Follow us on all your favorite platforms. Go to our website, talkinbengals.com. Check out some new merch. We got some other items coming up that Casey's been plugging away for us. Other than that, we bid you guys a good night and a do and a hooday.
Hooday.
Today.